that system within the body is called the sympathetic nervous system. Everybody has it. You can't, you can train it, but you can't, you just have it. You're born with it.
Right.
It's just given to you by birth. However, this can be used against you if you're in this particular fetal position for an extended period of time. So survival, it's embedded into our bones. We're taught to either fight, flight, or freeze on occasion, but it's encoded into our design at birth.
Right.
So we're all given this survival instinct, animals, humans, but what do we do with it? We abuse it by sitting. So the system that I was talking about was the sympathetic nervous system. This is the White House of survival. Everything goes through and comes from this particular system in the body. Now there's two systems or divisions within this system, the autonomic and the parasympathetic, which we don't need to bore anybody with that science jargon right now, but really the sympathetic nervous system has two main jobs. It's keeping the body in what we call homeostasis. It keeps it balanced in check. And the second is, like I said, survival, fight or flight. So if you're in this fetal position for an extended period of time, how we're sitting right now is considered fetal position, but in an upright form.
Right.
If we were to lay on our side, we would be in fetal
And
position.
we pull our knees to our chest.
Right. If we're in the woods and a bear starts attacking us, we're going to crunch up in a tiny ball, flex all of our muscles to protect our internal organs, which is at our core.
Right.
However, from the seated position, your body barely differentiates between, true panic or true survival,
danger,
or just everyday routine.
Right.
So the body, the brain, I love the brain because it doesn't disconnect the two. If you're in the position, your brain is going to send signals saying, hey, I don't like this position, so I'm going to shut down a lot of the body processes in order to survive. Hence why it's called the hidden survival muscle.
Right.
Because if this muscle is shortened in that fetal position, all the signals are going to go to the brain saying, hey, we don't like this position. Let's start protecting and preserving what we've got because we don't know how long we're going to be able to stay in this position. On a rabbit hole now.
Hey, it's me.
I know, me too.
I'm Mr. Tangent.
So where was it going? Assessments. It'd be surprised at how many. You probably wouldn't be surprised. It's crazy just how many people just cannot move properly. And once I start analyzing their movement and what they're currently doing and fix all all the crap that they're dealing with, as far as movement, stress, lifestyle habits, sleep, nutrition, things like that. A lot of it can be fixed very quickly in such an easy process when you start looking at the prime muscles, your core, your hips, your glutes, but also integrate movement, just healthy movement that takes you out of your comfort zone, takes you out of bicep curls, out of the squat rack, and start actually implementing what I call like lifestyle movements.
Right.
I'm not talking what you do in the bedroom. I'm talking like movements that actually improve your lifestyle.
Absolutely. And we're not saying abandon the exercise that you're doing. Like, keep with that. But there's some stuff that you can plug in.
Right.
And add, whether that's in the beginning of the day or prior to your workout or after your workout or before you go to bed. That's what makes this program actually, Unlock Your Hip Flexors, so awesome.
Yeah. It's something that you include into what you're doing.
That's it.
And if you have to make, a sacrifice, you can sacrifice 10 minutes. It really is that simple. But the value that 10 minutes can add to your life is unparalleled. Just because you're like, oh, I gotta skip I don't have time to stretch. What? How do you not have time to stretch? You can skip one set of bicep curls, or stop looking through Instagram, or get off YouTube unless you're on our YouTube channel.
Well, of course.
But you really have.
You could go to our YouTube channel, by the way, which is youtube.com/Criticalbench, and type in hip flexors, and you'll be hit with about 50 to 100 videos about how to fix your hips.
Yeah, there's so many ways to stretch out the hips, and you got to find what's appropriate for where you're currently at, because some are more advanced, some are for the beginners, some are for people without knee pain. But the end of the day, you have to be doing some kind of hip exercise, hip stretching, and then pair that with glutes. Train your glutes. Oh my gosh, you're going to be unstoppable.
Right.
And like I said, and we'll move on. But as a strength coach, incorporating hip activity and glute activity with my clients and athletes, they're amazed at how they can throw a ball harder, how they've lost weight. And the funny thing is, like, we didn't do much. It wasn't like some radical crash diet. Mm-hmm. It's just me personally knowing how much power those muscle groups hold, your hips and your glutes.
Right.
And once you start tapping into them,
that's it. Order grocery store foods to your home. You can sit down and work at the computer. You can just sit and make a living, and it's costing you your health.
Right.
It's scary.
Absolutely.
And you touched on this earlier too, how it messes with our ability to lose fat.
Right.
Can you maybe elaborate a little bit on that? Just how people be like, really? I mean, sitting. Yeah, I know I'm not moving, so I'm not burning as many calories. But how does that lead to like fat gain or your body becoming more of a fat storing machine?
So this all circles back to that sympathetic nervous system. When you're in that survival mode, when you're in that fetal position, your body it activates the body's natural survival response. Okay, which in return puts unwanted stress on the adrenal glands. So this depletes your immune system, and this puts your body in what it considers danger. So it just tight hips gives the brain feedback similar to that of danger. Okay, it's starving it of the appropriate nutrients that it needs to function, because again, it's going into survival mode.
Yeah.
So anytime you're in this survival mode, imbalances start occurring. Your hormones are just going to go out of whack. And anytime you start messing with hormones, obviously it's your body's natural response is to store fat, because fat is the slowest burning fuel source of the body.
And our number one, it's that most amount of calories.
Right. So there's this thing called cortisol. Obviously, cortisol has been abused, it's been beaten, but it's the real deal. So there's quite, it's extensive science out there. But like when we feel hungry, our blood sugar drops, blah, blah, blah. And when the cortisol is elevated, you're going to activate, just, and long story short, your cortisol is going to be all out of whack. And when it's out of whack, you're going to gain weight.
And we need cortisol, and we need we need all the other anabolic hormones too. We need them both, In life, everything's like, is this a little bit of this and a little bit of that, right? We need not too much of one and not too much of another. We need, and that's what we're looking for, is that homeostasis, right? So all we're saying is like, it's something as simple as, standing up more often throughout your day. And getting in some of these key movements that are like part of the Unlock Your Hip Flexor program.
Right.
You can do this stuff without any equipment.
Right.
You could just do it in your office. You could do it in your bedroom. You could do it at the gym. You can do it anywhere. And it'll help to get your body out of this fat storing, kind of position that it's in. They love exercising with machines, and they love, following a routine that they do. So they're doing the same movements all the time in the same order.
It's usually just strength.
Yeah, and it's
always cardio.
Yeah,
but still, you have to incorporate mobility, movement. Like you have to get the muscles and the joints, the ligaments, everything, the fascia, everything to be in its natural designed state in order to unleash your true potential, unleash weight loss, unleash strength gains.
And Unlock Your Hip Flexors is I believe it's 10 movements, isn't it?
Yeah.
That they can do in like a 10-minute period of time. Maybe if you take a little bit extra time on it, it could take you up to 15 minutes. You go through these 10 movements, and these movements are all designed to not only lengthen, but strengthen this one muscle that we're talking about, and help to undo the damage and unravel, all this, this built up damage that we've done over years and years and years. And I must, I stand more now in my work day with this stand-up desk. You're probably not too far from getting something like that for yourself. Yeah. And it does make me feel better. If anything, now I just have sore feet sometimes.
My feet hurt.
My feet hurt. But I'm standing most hours now during the day while I'm at work, and I don't even notice it anymore. In fact, if I'm sitting on the computer and doing anything on the computer, I actually feel weird now because I've gotten so used to standing.
Thank you so much for watching the Critical Bench YouTube channel. Be sure to give us a thumbs up, drop us some comments or questions. Hit that subscribe button right there for more videos from us. I have an amazing free Why Stretching Won't Make You Flexible report and another video from us. We'll see you.